Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Holy crap. What's up, everybody? Steve Grillo here in Central Park. You are listening to Grillo's AftershockXL. On this glorious day in this city we call New York, I am broadcasting live from Central Park. Take a look behind me. Is all these people out. People are enjoying the weather and doing what we have to do because it's just not right to keep us locked up, locked down. It's just fucked up. So I'm doing a very special edition of Grillo's AftershockXL. Let me get settled in here right now from Central Park because today is another Elon Musk historic day where he is launching a space rocket. No one's launched anything in a long time around here. He's launching a very special rocket that's going to happen really soon. We all know that it's going to be historic. And I thought, well, actually, I can't even say I thought. Noah thought it would be a great idea, which it is, to broadcast live while this is going on. And I brought an expert on with me, not in rocket science, but just in Elon Musk in general. Mr. Roy McDonald is here with us. Hello, Roy. Hello, Roy. Once again, hello, Roy. Are you kidding me? What's going on here? We must have Houston. We have a problem. So today is based on everything Elon Musk, everything SpaceX, and we're going to experience it live here with you while I'm in Central Park and Roy is lost in the stratosphere. So I will continue to talk and make sure that I fill you with interesting things. Today, last night was like an epic night with everybody. We all just had some fun. There's nothing left to do but have fun. So we continue to have fun. Everybody, you gotta love this city. You never know what's gonna happen at any minute. So places in the world, Central Park. Intern Noah, what's going on, man? Come on. Sorry, we're having a little. No, I'm gonna call him Magic Noah from now on. Like instead of Magic Mike, it's Magic Noah. He just gets shit done, and I don't know how he does it. So anyway, we're live from Central Park here on this special edition of Grillo's AftershockXL. We're going to watch the SpaceX launch live with you here and me. God forbid it blows up, we might make some history. I know it's a horrible thing to think. But I'm a child of the Challenger. I remember that day so vividly. I was in 8th grade, and we came back from lunch, and and it was special for the teachers because Kristen McCullough was a teacher, and all the teachers were excited that a teacher was going into space, so they kind of took it personal. And I remember anytime that TV was brought into the classroom, which was always wheeled in, like the RV thing. Hello,
all right,
Roy. Hello,
we should be good. Sorry.
Anybody hear us?
Yeah,
I can't hear anybody.
Can you hear me?
Hear me?
I don't even know if this is streaming. I'm talking some great shit here.
Should I log out and go
I
back?
can't hear anybody.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I'll log out. Okay.
Okay.
Hang on.
Hello? Think I'm talking to myself. Man, this StreamYard is fucking fickle as hell. Anyway, I was saying that 8th grade, we came back from lunch, and our teacher wheeled in a TV, and she was just so solemn.
Can you hear me?
Didn't say anything. Can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Can't hear you. All right, I'm gonna go back out and come back in. Jesus Christ.
I'll host. Can you hear me, Noah?
What?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you fine.
Okay. Good.
So I'm Steve Grillo, and we're gonna have a special event today. We're gonna watch the Dragon rocket. Is that what it is? The Dragon?
Yeah.
And I have
It's a demo too.
All right.
Can you
hear us?
Yeah.
Go
Are we live again? Sorry, everybody just tune the fuck out. I was telling the story before you guys couldn't hear me that I remember when the horrible tragedy that happened with the Challenger. I was in grammar school, and all the teachers were into it because Kristen McCullough was a teacher. Are we streaming?
Yeah.
Noah?
We're live.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
All right.
So and I would remember that the teachers were all watching from the lunchroom because they were following it because there was a teacher that was going into space. And then when we came back from lunch, I did, anytime the teacher brought a TV into the classroom, it was like, yes, a TV. We're not going to do classwork. And she didn't say anything, considering we were the oldest in the school because we were in 8th grade. She wheeled it in and just didn't say anything and just turned on the TV. And we watched the tragedy already happened, but we watched the aftermath unfold in front of us. And we just sat there in complete and utter disbelief about what we were watching, because it was probably the first tragedy really that ever happened in my timeline in being alive.
Yeah, everybody was. I remember I was working because I'm older than you, obviously, but I was working in a place called Clinical Sciences, and this guy ran in. He goes, "The Challenger blew up," and he was always playing jokes and stuff. I go, "Yeah, bullshit." And yeah, the Challenger blew up, and it wasn't like today where you could just go online and watch it. I had to wait all the way till I got home to see what had exactly happened. And by the way, that can't happen in this thing. In this this
SpaceX. Well, I wanted to do the show with you specifically because you are, like, by far, out of everybody I know, the biggest Elon Musk fan ever. You and your son, Miles.
Right.
And I know you follow everything he does, and you are so into. Your son has one of his cars, does he not?
He has a Tesla. He loves him, and anything about Elon, he's.
Why? How come we don't have Miles on? We should have Miles. He's probably more of an expert than you are.
But by the way, I said to him, "Come on the show," and he went, "No."
I fucking love your son. He's awesome.
Before we get into this reminded me of something today, because there's all this other shit that's going on around our country because of the civil unrest now, and this, the guy that was murdered basically. And horrible timing for this to happen when everybody's being suppressed, and now this happens. Go ahead. But remember that there was this guy. Now, I'm so glad this is a private company now doing this. But back in the day, they were putting rockets, putting people on the moon. And there was this guy. His name was Gil Scott Heron. He's unfortunately he's died, and he was a poet. And he did this a poem called "Whitey on the Moon." Do you remember this? And the words basically go, "A rat done bit my sister while Whitey's on the moon. Her face and arms began to swell while Whitey's on the moon. I can't pay no doctor bill, but Whitey's on the moon."
It's like Mama Luca Boo Boo Day.
But it was like he's always comparing like all this money going to this, but
kill the white man.
Okay, so
again, I'm live at Central Park here in New York City. Roy is quarantined out in New Jersey, and where are you from again?
I'm from Byram Township, New Jersey. Yeah.
Byram Township, New Jersey.
Byram Township, New Jersey. Oop.
And we're here, and we got 22 minutes to the launch of SpaceX. We're going to experience it live in Grillo's AftershockXL. You're more than welcome to come join us. So let's, Roy has a lot to say, and I'll just shut up.
No. Well, you started talking about the Challenger blowing up, and I wanted to explain why it happened again. So what they have these rockets that are on the bottom of the little part that they're in the top, right? And they're called Drago engines. And if anything happens to the rocket, starts to explode or some shit happens, it goes boom, and it just gets away from it, and then the rocket can blow up. And then what happens is they have to depending on where they are, depends on where the rocket is, the little capsule. Now, because there's little tiny engines in it, that if they're over past Nova Scotia and they're in that part of the ocean where you couldn't possibly rescue anybody for hours and they would probably die, it immediately shoots and it goes over to Ireland, and then it drops into the ocean. And there's people that are all the way up the East Coast, all kinds of ships, if this ever were to happen. But Noah, do you have that little clip of the engines and what exactly happens? And watch, watch how fast this goes off of the pad. Now imagine underneath of this is the rocket, and these guys are in the top, and you can see they're spraying water. This is just a test, but watch it come off. Boom! This is how fast it goes off away from it. It detects an explosion, and it just takes off. Now,
holy shit!
Yeah, so they're just on their own right now. So now, if depending on where they are on the trajectory, it goes all the way up the East Coast. It kind of bears towards Nova Scotia, and if it's in, see that? Then if it's over, now watch, and then all of a sudden it just deploys the chutes.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and then they can land, and so no one dies. You know, it doesn't, because in the Challenger accident, there was a lot of people that said that they were alive all the way down. You know, so if they could just figure out a way to get away from the part that explodes, then they could just float back to the Earth, and the computers know where they are. So it's pretty interesting
that's fucking unbelievable.
Right.
So now, all right. So today, if, say 100% picture perfect scenario, what's supposed to happen today?
Well, what's supposed to happen is it's going to take that trajectory, what we said.
No. I'm talking about the purpose of what's going on today, what they expect, what they want, and how is it going to be executed perfectly?
Well, this is actually the demo, if you can believe it. But they are, they're going to take two guys, right, two astronauts. Now, the astronauts are NASA astronauts, so just so we know. But the spaceship is totally made by SpaceX. And they're going to send two astronauts up into space. And then the second demo that they'll have in some weeks from now will be 4 astronauts. And then finally, there's going to be 7. And that's going to be the regular thing back and forth. Now, it's going to take them 19 hours from the time that they take off and to link up with the International Space Station, because of the way the Earth, they're going to go into orbit, and then by the time they intersect. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No. I'll ask that question in a minute, but finish.
So yeah, so it's good. So, but from the time that it takes off and gets up there, it's going to be tomorrow when they'll finally link up. And now I'm not sure if they're going to have that as cameras will be on it or anything, but I would imagine they would be. And the fun thing is that the bottom part of that rocket, which you see, and which makes this such a great thing, is the reason space travel is so expensive is because those used to just drop into the ocean or onto the land, and you couldn't use them again. These rockets land back on the Earth, and all they got to do is refurb them a little tiny bit, hardly any cost, fill them back up with fuel, and then they can take off again. So that's the beautiful part about where we're going with space travel. The rockets are reusable, like an airplane. So
that's pretty amazing.
Yeah. So the part that they're in, you can see, is up there, and that whole bit that you saw, the first stage on the bottom, which is really what costs a lot of money, because that's where you put the fuel, and that's where you have to check all the seals and everything. That just lands right back on the Earth, and they don't have to fabricate it again. It's just there, which is nice.
So, they're going into space. Are they docking with the International Space Station?
Oh, yes, they are. Yes, they are.
So now, here's the thing. If nobody's been, just say the space shuttle hasn't gone up in years, whatever, and there's people up at the space station, how are they getting back and forth? Is it some other country? How are they, those people, they're just not stuck in that tube up in the stratosphere, are they?
You ready? We pay Russia $70 million per astronaut per ride to go up to the International Space Station and back. So as you can see,
are those the people that interfered with the election?
Yeah, the same guy. As a matter of fact, the one guy that totally interfered with it, he charges the money.
Yeah, exactly. How often is Russia going back and forth with astronauts?
A lot. I mean, you can.
You can't stay up there for a long time. It fuck you up, right?
Oh no! Some of them been up there over a year. There's all kinds of records being set all the time. Now, don't forget, it's
there's
not
people
just
complaining about being in quarantine, and those people are up in the tube for a year.
So every time that our astronauts, and we only pay for our people, it's international. So there's French scientists. There are all these scientists that are on it from different countries. Those countries pay Russia, and they go up in a Soyuz rocket. I mean, that's how they get up and back. And and I don't know if it's round trip 70 million, but I do know it's 70 million was
Jesus Christ.
Now if this works out, it only costs $10 million to refurb the bottom half of this thing, and send it back into space. So, which means SpaceX is probably going to take over because they're going to cut their throat financially so that they won't be able to charge 70. And plus, it's way cooler and probably safer and everything else. So other countries will come to us, meaning they'll come to SpaceX and pay the money.
I wanted to update you guys. They just gave a go ahead with the weather and everything's a go for launch.
Beautiful. Yeah, it looks like a nice day. Yeah.
So the astronauts are obviously already in there, so we didn't get that.
There they are.
Like, what was it? They're in there. Oh, I was going to say that emotional strut to when they enter the rocket, like they did in that movie.
Yeah, well, if you tuned in about 5 hours ago, you would have seen that. But
so they've already been sitting there for 5 hours.
Yep.
And doing that. Man, they look like stormtroopers. Man, that's so cool.
Very cool. And the funny thing is, they're sitting in the two middle seats, and there's a seat on either side of them. That's empty for now.
Yeah, it's the next trip.
Right, and then in the back of them are 3 more seats. So
I want to go for a ride so bad.
Yeah. And it's going to be a lot cheaper now because if it only costs you like $10 million to fill the thing up and refurb the bottom, then all of a sudden it's a lot cheaper to go into space, and it makes it. If the price comes down, then we can do more stuff, right? Because and we're not really worrying about the government. And I can see. Moving forward, that it'll be individuals going up, not just astronauts.
How far up are they? Are they out of the planetary orb, like the whole, like they're out of like our gravitational pull?
No, they're in orbit. Like you know how satellites work, right? They go up high enough so they're out of the atmosphere and they're in space, and then because there's no resistance in space, they release the satellites. Much like they're going to do, the space station does. And what happens is as soon as the satellite is released, it goes into what's called a geosynchronous orbit. And that means that it perpetually will spin around the Earth forever. And that's why we have, TV, and that's why we have Sirius radio, and that's why we have all these things today, GPS, because there's some, I don't even know how 50,000 satellites going on up there right now.
I wish I would have done a little more research because there's the
Me
stratosphere.
too, motherfucker. Me too.
Yeah. No, but I'm saying, no, seriously, because I didn't think about it before I did the show. But there's the stratosphere, and then there's other different layers. That's why some people debunk the fact that we were able to go to the moon, because there is a layer once you get past somewhere in those terminologies that seemed impossible for any man or anything to be going past it. And the fact that with the technology and the equipment that they had, there was no way that these astronauts were able to get to the moon because they couldn't get past that stratosphere or whatever it's called. And I wish I would have known. And
that's exactly what happened recently to Richard Branson. Just a matter of fact, 5 days ago, he has this company called Galactica. And what his thing is, he wants to take you get a plane ride from London to Japan, Tokyo, and you'll be there in 90 minutes. And the reason being is he leaves the atmosphere and goes through all those layers and then flies in space, much like the satellites or like the International Space Station, and then comes back down again. Now, he failed at it because it is tough to get through the layers and having enough thrust and everything. And when he did fail the other day, Elon Musk texted him and he goes, "Don't feel bad. It took us 4 times before we got into space." So you have to really know the math. You really have to know how much fuel you need, what the trajectory is, what time. But also, there's also a layer of radiation that's out there that is also extremely deadly. And do we have the technology to protect the people inside through the radiation and the vehicle that's going through it? Well, there's radiation even when you're on an airplane. I mean, they're outside. So, but the shell of the vehicle protects you from all of that. And especially with the rockets, they're totally they're never going to get radiation, but it is out there. But they know how to get through it, So the math is critical, and he's trying to do something completely different because he's not going into orbit to link up with a space station. He's actually just trying to get up and down to make our plane rides like nothing, Yeah. So and they're actually going to exit the vehicle and go into the space station? Yes, but that won't be for 19 hours from now. So it's going to take them 19 hours to link up with the space station. They're going to exit the vessel and go in, maybe have some lunch with the astronauts, maybe get a little reach around,
and then
Well, I think they're going to be up there for like 2 weeks. So there's some
okay.
And I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure those two same guys are going to just come back. This is just
maybe a rusty trombone.
Exactly. But the great news is all they're going to do is make sure that their docking mechanisms are working. They can exit the vehicle.
Docking.
Exactly.
Automatic docking system. I like it. You have to find it in the dark.
11 minutes till we go.
11 minutes, we're going.
I think I have some other fun things to share. I just wanted to write some things down as I remembered them. Okay, so the boosters are going to land back on the Earth, right?
Yeah. Well, Chris Saleo wants to know what the hell we're talking about. Miss you, buddy.
We got to do lunch. Jesus,
this is way above my pay grade.
So So anyway, they're gonna land not on the Earth. I mean the land. They're gonna land at sea, but they're gonna land on this platform that they put off, and the platform is actually called "Of Course I Love You" drone ship. So it's like it's the size of a football field, and when they come back to Earth, the rockets, the bottom part's going to land right on there, and then they're going to take it back, and then they'll be able to refurb it. And then when they come back, and actually, there's no time for them to officially come back. They're going to figure that out when they're up there and make sure that the weather's right and everything, and then they'll just come back.
And it's all self-guiding. Are they? Is there anybody like actually steering or guiding the ship, or is it just totally like computer like manipulated, where like they just sit in there and press the button and like go for a nice ride?
Well, that is true, but there's a captain. One guy's a captain, one guy's the pilot, and they are both very learned, and they know if something fails or there's a problem, how they override the system, and they could take over manually to get home. So they know the math, which they have to. That trajectory back in is very important. You blow that one, you're going to burn up.
Well, you have to come in at a certain angle through the atmosphere, right?
Right.
Or you just burn the fuck up.
Now,
just want to interrupt. Mission Control just gave the okay to launch. They're counting down to launch.
Beautiful.
Oh, really? All right.
Beautiful.
So, I know when it goes live. You know what? Actually, this is fine. So it's imminent, correct?
Yes. Yeah, correct. We'll listen in. Once it's closer.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Give us.
I remember as a kid waking up at like 6 o'clock in the morning to watch, the space shuttle take off. It was just like, I can't imagine what it must to be actually down there, and the level of intensity, and just the volume, and you must feel everything, not just hear it.
No, well, my son went down to see one of them. Obviously, it was unmanned until today, and one takeoff, and the amount of thrust. Even if it's far away, and it is when you're going and seeing it live, you feel it in your chest. It's like that much air displacement when it takes off. But he rode all the way to Florida to see that, So
are they going to be able to talk to the astronauts
no.
while this is going on?
Yeah, they're going to be doing like this. We'll be talking the entire time.
Oh wow! And we're going to be able to watch that.
We're going to see them the entire time going up. Don't forget they're pulling a lot of G's, so they're not going to be yakking as they're getting out of the atmosphere, because it's like you're getting
big pimping, spending G's. We're gonna.
They're going to be in their chair like this, So it's going to be hard. But as soon as they break through the atmosphere and stuff starts floating around, then it's easy, because.
This is so exciting because the technology with communication and video and audio that we're going to experience right now has probably been unprecedented to watch this or something like this.
I mean, think about what we're doing now. We're doing a podcast with us on the screen, talking about this, watching it live from Cape Canaveral. And by the way, there's their mission controls in California. There's no Houston anymore. So,
California, we have a problem.
Yeah.
God forbid.
No, we did. Yeah, I don't believe that's going to be a problem. I think they've done this so many. Like in the beginning, there was a lot of, I watched them blow up a few rockets over the years, but they got it down now. Now they take off, they land back on the Earth. It's it's amazing. I never thought I'd be alive to see this kind of a thing where the rocket lands back down on the Earth, and they take it and they reuse it. It's like it's fascinating to me. So
they got that all down, but they can't fix how to figure traffic out on the Long Island Expressway.
yeah. And Whitey on the moon.
Yeah.
I can't pay no doctor bills, but Whitey's
on the moon.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I ain't got no woman, but Whitey on the moon.
I mean, that's a very famous poem that guy did, and it was he was comparing like all our money going there.
The Rockets have started successfully. Everybody.
Oh boy, it's amazing.
Yeah, grab your ankles. It's time to get funky.
Yeah. It's a little nerve-wracking, but this is going to be so historic. And once they get
my thing is, what the hell is going on with these these astronauts' head right now? They're about to be now. It's either one of them been in space before.
I think so. Yes, these guys are older, man. They're like my age, older even. So they're they're used to this, and and you don't forget that most of the astronauts were test pilots prior to. Doing stuff that's on the edge, they're used to that. But I got to imagine, I don't care what actor you're talking about, 10 seconds before they go on the stage, there must be just a little jitters. I'm sure they're feeling the same thing, because now they're really not in the hands of NASA. They're in the hands of SpaceX.
God.
God. Yeah.
Really.
But I love the fact that we're doing private things now. And I really do want to see Richard's plane get into orbit, because that's going to change air travel for us, all of us,
Yeah.
So if
didn't he send you a letter?
Yes, he did. When I needed a job one time in the early '90s, and he sent me a letter back and said, "You talk to this person and at Sony and blah blah blah." I couldn't even believe it. I'm a total fan of his. So
yeah, I know you always spoke highly of him. You always flew Virgin Airlines. We did a couple of times going to LA with Bright Shot and shit like that.
Yep.
And it was the best service I've ever had on an airline.
Yeah.
I grew up, in Canarsie, Brooklyn, which was really close to Kennedy Airport.
Right.
And every day, twice a day, I had experienced the Concorde hitting sonic booms. And you would think that as a kid, you were like, oh my God, that's so amazing. But it was so loud, you couldn't hear anything. And we used to get annoyed, like, oh, fuck, here comes the Concorde. Here comes the Concorde. What the fuck? Because you literally had to take a timeout. If we were playing stickball or football or tag or anything, you had to take a timeout and stop and wait for the Concorde to hit the sonic boom, and then you can start things up again.
The funny thing is that the International Space Station travels 15 times the speed of sound.
Wow.
So to go around the Earth. So it takes about
we understood, because you'd see it like go, and then you had to wait for the sonic boom. And then when that ended, then you could start playing again, because you couldn't hear anything.
Right. Yeah, because once you break going that fast, it breaks the sound barrier, and it's really what you're hearing is air displacement.
You realize it's just like it happens over there, and the speed of sound is what it takes to come and hit you.
Yeah, so if the thing's out far enough and it's 750 miles an hour ish, it's going to take you that long to get to you. People say the speed of light is fast, but the light that we feel right now on the Earth left the sun about 8.5 minutes ago, and that's traveling at 245,000 miles a second, to get to it.
Yeah.
So
getting close, people. We're getting.
You guys
close.
want to listen in?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Put it up.
I'll go bleed.
You hear it?
No.
I don't hear
anything.
anything.
Talking? Are they talking?
And his own internal power.
A little bit.
I can hear it. Yeah.
Stage 1, LOX load closed out.
So we're hearing their comms.
Minus 2 minutes, 42 seconds.
Oh, I can hear that guy. Great.
Stage 1 LOX load is closed out. Stage 2 will continue to load for about another half a minute or so.
I don't know about you, Roy, but I got a little chubby.
Stage 2 LOX loading. We have to back down the line.
The first time I saw two rockets land back on the Earth, I almost cried.
This one's for Russ Ranelli. Two rockets touching is gay.
Going on internal power now.
Exactly.
So we're listening to the go no goes, last note go no goes from Mission Control now.
They're gonna go. There's nothing.
What's go no go?
That means that's the last chance you have to say no. If you get past that point, it's a go. You're gonna go.
All our eyes focused on 2 now.
Yep, 2 minutes. 2 minutes. It's amazing.
We're watching history, people, right here on Grillo's Aftershock XL. Don't forget to go to the merch page and buy some shit.
Yeah. We have new Grillo fucking SpaceX rocket shirt.
We got Grillo's Aftershock XL space underwear. Hey, Noah, can we get some like astronaut food with Aftershock on it?
Is there enough room in the underwear for my rocket?
Yeah, there's a rocket in my pocket. Okay, we're getting down to 1 minute, people.
This is exciting.
This is it right here. All right, let's. You know what? Let's maintain radio silence and see what they have to say.
Yeah, well, definitely from 1 minute down. This is going to be exciting.
Yeah, and 1 minute is happening very soon.
Say again?
No. If something happens, we should be able to but we'll just be hard just to shut up. But okay, guys, right now it is 1 minute and counting. Boom.
1 minute.
Start up. Dragon is in countdown. FTS is armed for launch.
Under a minute now, the FTS, the flight termination system, has been armed.
Dragon, SpaceX, go for launch.
Nice.
Yeah, it's exciting.
SpaceX Dragon, we're go for launch. Let's light this candle.
Wait, I have to go to the bathroom.
Let's light it. He just said, "Let's light this candle."
Oh, nice.
Oh, this is it. This is like New
Here we
Year's
go.
Eve.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm nervous.
I'm excited. This is real, people.
Oh yeah.
Here it comes. Here it comes. Or there it was. Away you go. Ready? There it is.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition. Liftoff of the Falcon 9 and Crew Dragon. Go NASA. Go SpaceX. Godspeed, Spot and Dog.
Holy shit.
And so rises a new era of American spaceflight, and with it the ambitions of a new generation continuing the dream. 20 seconds into flight, stage 1 propulsion is nominal.
Looks like a pencil.
Yep.
Plus 30 seconds into this historic mission. Flying crew on board Dragon and Falcon 9, and look at them go.
Holy shit. How fast are they going, Roy?
Well, right now they're not going that fast, but
It says in the bottom left, 850.
Wow.
But ultimately they'll be flying. This is the most.
All systems are go.
The most resistance that you're going to get is here until they break through.
They just went supersonic. I'd be supersonic.
Yeah. Now I'm hoping they show the landing of the booster rocket. That's going to be fun.
You're watching this live here on Grillo's Aftershock XL. I'm live from Central Park, and you just witnessed history, everybody. SpaceX is out and on its way to space. I'm here live with Roy McDonald in Central Park. He's in Byram, New Jersey, and we are watching history as it goes down.
So that's the camera live from the right.
Now, this is the point where this is a critical point right now. They got to get through this because
We've heard the call out for MVAC engine chill. That's getting the MVAC engine ready to light. That'll come at about 2:44 into flight.
2:44.
Right now, everything
That's
continuing to
amazing.
Yeah, this is the part that makes me nervous, only because this is the most critical part.
We'll have main engine cutoff of the 9 first stage engines, stage separation, and then ignition of the second stage engine to continue to carry astronauts into orbit.
Now watch on the left, you're going to see it
Up in about 20
separate.
seconds.
M1D throttle down.
They're almost out of the part where it gets crazy.
On the first stage.
Yeah.
Wait for it.
All right, it's going to separate in about 5 seconds.
Miko.
Ready?
Falcon stage separation.
Boom, there it goes.
Wow.
Done.
Wow. That's crazy.
Perfect.
Holy shit. Now that's going to self-guide itself back down onto the platform.
The first stage beginning its flight back. The second stage being powered by that single Merlin 1D vacuum engine has ignited. and is now carrying Bob and Doug into orbit.
Now you have to remember that once they get up there, it's very little that they would have to use any engines to get going. Because
Prosecco, or second engine, cut off at about 8 minutes and 44 seconds into today's flight. So a little over 5 minutes to go still on this second stage. You heard the call out to Alpha, so they're now in the longest abort zone that carries them all the way from about North Carolina up the eastern seaboard, almost to Canada. Things looking good, though, getting good call outs, nominal propulsion on that second stage. Bob and Doug continuing to make their way into orbit.
Yep. See how high you have to be to get into orbit? It's like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's you would think they were already there, but no.
Nominal trajectory.
I would love to see if they had like a camera in front, like on the nose.
I think they have cameras all over it, but they choose to go with these angles because it's up to them.
The Dragon pointed in the right direction, continuing to make their flight uphill. Heard acquisition of signal Bermuda. That's one of the other ground stations that they're using to get telemetry and data back from this spacecraft.
Stage 2 propulsion is still nominal.
Here we go.
That's crazy. Look at that fucking view.
Noah, did you say that they are there for 4 months? Is that what I'm reading over on the right there?
Yeah, 4 months. They're going to be on the space station doing research, and they'll bring things back with them when they come back.
Cool.
What do you think they're going to bring back? Comics?
They've been doing
duty
scientific research.
Over 4 minutes, 40 seconds.
Space seamen?
Flying more than 5,600 miles
Dragon
per hour.
SpaceX nominal trajectory.
Already almost 200 miles downrange from the Kennedy.
So it's going to take them 19 hours to dock?
Continuing.
Yeah, we're not going to watch the docking, obviously.
No, I'm just saying, but like, so
yeah.
they have to sit there on their ass for 19 hours? It's not like, well, okay, you know, like, okay, we've reached our altitude. You can take off your seatbelts and walk amongst the cabin.
No, they're able to get out of their seat once they're in orbit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
But do they have a place to walk around? Is there like a cabin or something?
No, it's not big.
But
is there a turlet?
Yeah,
there
inside the suit. But
there is an external one too.
If they needed to learn how to sit on their ass for 19 hours, they would just go to your website.
Well, if they've been in quarantine here in the country they'd be no problem watching Netflix for 19 hours.
No, the next black dot. My eyes are bad on the arc there. What does that read? Can you see that?
Starting chill for entry. There's that call out. They are still on a nominal.
I think it says entry something. Like entering orbit.
Oh, entering the orbit. And what about the last two? Are they putting up on the black dots that we're going to watch the rocket come down? Okay.
Yeah, that could be. Yeah.
Because we should definitely watch that. Because that's.
They'll probably say it.
Yeah.
Noah, is there a way you could pull up the layout of the capsule where like what's the capsule is looking like inside, like a diagram?
Yeah, it's just their seats and a bunch of screens in front of them, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Really
There's nothing behind them, really. There's like
well, not now, but there's going to be another row of seats back there once they. But that's going to be another like a little bigger rocket, Dragon. So I don't think they're going to call it Dragon.
Stage 2 propulsion is still good.
Here we go.
Over 3 minutes until Dragon physically separates from the second stage of the Falcon.
Oh, that's the separation.
What's going to be separating? What is that?
Well, there's two stages to push them into space. That big rocket you saw leaving that's separated. Yeah. Now the next one is going to be separating because at that point all they got to do is push them out there, and because there's no resistance in space, they're just going to go on the trajectory.
Okay, is that thing going to land too, or does that thing just go in the ocean?
You know, that's a good question. I was wondering that before if that is reusable too, because I've never seen the second stage land. But so I don't think so. But
so and then once that thing's gone, what is controlling their trajectory? Like, is there like air like what? How do you like? You know, I always think the Millennium Falcon had the engines there. Like, is there another third engine that's going to control their what's the word? Like their right or left?
No, you're talking about the guys in the capsule.
Yeah, like what? How do they maintain control?
Math. Once they once the second stage separates, then it's all math. It's you hit the mark right. It's just going to keep.
There we go.
There it is.
Stage 1 landing burn shortly after.
So that's it. It says entry burn, and then the next one's landing burn.
Oh, good. So we're going to get to see it.
Yeah.
full view
we'll
on
be
your
able to
left
see it.
screen, seeing Bob and Doug on Dragon. Right now, you can see the displays that they are seeing right now themselves.
Terminal guidance.
And back throttle step.
Amazing.
We are coming up 25 seconds or so away from SECO, or second engine cutoff.
Okay, so now you're going to see it. It's going to shut off the engines
Their highest
and
G-force,
separate.
we're seeing the counter tick up to right about
Shannon.
1.8.
Copy, Shannon.
Ready? Watch it. This is going to come up.
Yeah.
Which just means they're in final abort zones. If they were to abort at
Fucking
this
Elon
point,
Musk. Jesus Christ.
orbit
Yep.
or land off the coast
Amazing.
of Ireland, standing by for second
Stage one landing
cutoff.
startup.
Yeah, so this is going to
It's gonna
fall.
li- it's got to land off the coast of Ireland. It's already drunk.
That's mission control now. That's what it looks like.
Wow. And nobody's smoking
Now,
cigarettes.
here, watch this.
Now
Watch.
Oh,
we're
wait.
waiting
Watch.
for our
Watch.
first stage to make its way to our drone ship. Of course, I still love you.
Dragon SpaceX nominal.
I
orbital
still love you. Is
insertion.
the name of the drone ship. Now watch it. It just comes out of nowhere. It's going to land.
Whoa. Almost got hit by a bird.
You're seeing on your screen is a live view of our drone ship,
Yes.
where our first stage will be coming down.
Oh.
Looks like we lost that live view, but
Oh,
wait for confirmation.
Oh, come on. Then that means it's fake.
no. There, it landed. You know why?
Oh,
You can see on your
bullshit.
screen,
No, the cameras.
Falcon 9
This
has
happens
landed.
sometimes. Yeah. The cameras sometimes, because there's so much pressure and shit going on, they stop
Very
functioning.
exciting for us.
Yeah.
But I've seen it land
Wow.
many times.
As you can see on your right
Look,
screen,
Wow, it's like a fucking, it's like perfect.
still
No, yeah,
making
the
their
math is
way
right
to
on.
their
See?
targeted
I feel like this is like contact. You know, there's another station somewhere and it's already there.
And now that that thing is going to be reused for the next one.
We did hear
Yeah,
again
that's
that
amazing.
orbital insertion, so that means Falcon 9 and Dragon right now exactly.
Are they able to take their helmets off at some point or no?
Yeah, once they get into space and they pressurize the cabin, then it'll be like they'll put oxygen in there so they can breathe.
Floating around
Yeah.
there. Bob and Doug.
And that's
I don't know
like,
if did you see he's floating around a stuffed animal to show you that there's no gravity.
yeah, no.
I saw something float by.
And before
Big
separation-
pimpin',
before
spending
dragging
G's.
separation from the second stage, they do make sure to they do ensure that the vehicle is not spinning and it is in good condition before we separate.
Yeah, I'm getting all kinds of news things now talking about that they've successfully took off. It's amazing.
The rocket body itself.
Do they have like a steering wheel or something there?
Yeah. It's actually from a '67 Corvette.
They have full confirmation.
No, it's like one of those chains. You know, the chain steering wheels.
Yeah, Karen had one. Karen had one in her truck.
All the chulos have it.
Yeah.
Not get over this.
Cheech
view
Marin
that you're
special.
seeing right
Yeah.
now. Bob and Doug on the right screen inside of Crew Dragon.
License, please. Isn't it on the bumper?
Isn't it on the back bumper?
Planet Earth, a little over 124 miles, traveling in excess of 2,700 meters, 27,000 meters per second,
Woo.
or about 16,000 miles per hour.
16,000.
Well,
miles
you've
per
seen
hour.
it live here on Grillo's AftershockXL, broadcasting live.
Oh, wait.
from Central Park.
Yeah, wait till it hits that next dot, and that's going to be the separation, and then we can
What next
conclude.
dot?
Maneuver.
You see that thing on the bottom, Steve? That.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so when it hits that dot, the second stage is going to leave, and then that'll fall into the Irish Sea, and then
We had an expected LOS loss of signal with one of the ground stations. Waiting for confirmation.
there it goes. There it goes. Bye.
Dragon separation.
Wow. Now, where's that going?
Great view right
Space
in
jump?
front of you.
It's gonna fall on Minnesota.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry. It's going to land in the Irish Sea.
Okay.
Scoop it up. Yeah. They're waiting for it to come down in the Irish Sea.
Dragon SpaceX with that
Wow.
separation call. We have a few words for you from our Falcon 19.
Oh, they're going to talk to us.
Standing by.
Dragon, Chief Engineer on Dragon to Ground. Bob Doug, on behalf of the entire launch team, thanks for flying with Falcon 9 today. We hope you enjoyed the ride and wish you a great mission.
Yay.
Thanks, Paula. Congratulations to you and the F9 team for the first human ride for Falcon 9, and it was incredible. Appreciate all the hard work, and thanks for the great ride to space.
Gabriel.
Oh, and like, proud of you guys and the rest of the team. Thank you so much for what you've done for us today, putting America back into low Earth orbit from the Florida coast.
Cool.
Russia must be shitting their pants right now.
Well, they're going to lose all that revenue. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Because now we can do this, or they can do this. So we,
All right. So Bob and Doug.
Why would you pay $70 million when you can pay 10?
No way. The guy's name's Bob and Doug. Are you serious?
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Ooh,
We should have played that music when they were doing.
We're in space, eh? We're in space. We're gonna have some space beers.
Heads up.
I kiss you, but I have puke breath.
The nose cone is going, so again, that nose cone is going to open up a little bit more than 90 degrees, goes up to about, I think, 105 degrees, and that's going to expose the actual docking ring and the hatch that they're going to be going through once they attach to the International Space Station, and also 4 of those Draco thrusters. We call them the forward bulkhead
Thrusters. Okay.
Are going to be used for these major phase burns or firings of those thrusters to actually raise their orbit gradually over the coming hours.
Yeah.
Also heard good activation of the ECLIS. That's the Environmental Control and Life Support System. That's everything controlling their atmosphere, just keeping Dragon a nice, safe, habitable environment where they're going to be living for the next 19 hours until they arrive at the space station.
Right, exactly. And Falcon 9's job may be done for today, but the mission is not over. Crew Dragon's job is not done. As you can see, Bob and Doug are still inside Crew Dragon.
I can't believe Bob and Doug. Oh my God. That's fucking awesome. Bob and Doug McKenzie.
Tomorrow morning.
Look, they're taking their helmets off and stuff and their gloves.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll go get naked up in there.
Yeah.
And watch what they're doing.
That's a movie.
They are in
yeah.
It's incredible to just be looking over their shoulder.
Wow.
Be along for the ride.
So funny.
And we're going to be with them, and we're going to be with all of you the entire way for their journey to the space station.
We're not.
No. It's a beautiful day. I got things to do.
Yeah, me too.
I got vodka to drink.
I'm in my basement. I'm gonna get outside.
Yeah. So there it is. Hold on. I'm gonna get up off this bench in Central Park, so everybody can see what's going on here in New York behind me.
Nothing.
I'm gonna start. Oh my God, my back hurts. Fucking. No, there's people out. Oh look, it's Roger Daltrey.
Yeah, right. Roger.
Me and Roy were walking through Central Park one day, and I don't know. I have this ability to scan people's faces, and I see everybody that's coming probably 10 blocks away, and I always spot celebrities. And me and Roy were walking probably not too far from where I am right now.
Yeah, probably right there.
And I saw Roger Daltrey from about that distance, and Roy's yapping and yapping and yapping, and I was like, "Hey, Roger." He goes, "Hi." Everyone's like, "Who's that?" I was like, "It's Roger Daltrey." He goes, "No fucking way, man."
It was funny.
So,
all right,
unfortunately, I'm not at the campground. I'm here in New York. Next Saturday, you can tune in live. My Jonathan Martinez and Andrea will be getting married on my roof. It's going to be a lovely ceremony.
Beautiful.
I'll go live at 7, and then you could watch the wedding. I guess maybe I'll just continue to go live. I'll just broadcast it live if they don't mind. I don't think they do. I think everybody wants to be there.
When are they getting married?
Next Saturday, June 6th, on my roof.
Okay, so
everybody knows my roof because I go live every day at 7.
We'll talk about this because I want to send something over, and I'll have you give it to them.
Okay, I would say you can come over, but I don't think you're allowed.
I'm not allowed to do anything.
Yeah.
But sit in this basement and talk to you.
Yeah. Well, at least it's some sense of normalcy that we could all appreciate. This is going to end soon because I don't know. I haven't heard of anybody getting sick, being sick. Haven't seen anybody sick in a really long time. I'm starting to think little by little that this is some form of bullshit.
Right.
And it's starting to get on my nerves, people.
Beautiful.
So,
all right, everybody.
Yeah, thank you for tuning in. Roy, thank you. Always a pleasure, and you are always amazing. Maybe you should just be my co-host at this point. We got nothing else to do.
Yeah, right. I have no job.
Yeah, ain't got no job, got shit to do. But all right, thank you, everybody. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, I definitely have no driver's license. I definitely ain't got no driver's license.
Oh, yeah. And Whitey's on the moon.
And Whitey's on the moon.
Can't
afford to pay the rent.
Oh, my God. There's so many beautiful women in this fucking place. Ridiculous. Anyway, I'll leave that alone. Here, you could... It doesn't end, people. It doesn't end. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. You're listening to Grillo's AftershockXL SpaceX launch special here Saturday. We just watched history in the making in Central Park in Byram, New Jersey. It was beautiful. God bless Elon Musk and his ability to change the world. And he did it. It's successful. You watched it live here. Go to the merch page and buy some shit. I got to pay rent.
All right.
Yeah, thank you, Roy. You're awesome. Wait, hold on. Thank you, everybody. All right, cool. Everybody, peace out. Be safe.